Imagine waking up one day to find that every choice you've ever made was predetermined, every decision, every action, every thought already scripted by forces beyond your control. It's a chilling thought, isn't it? But what if this isn't just a philosophical thought experiment? What if, in our quest for freedom, we've overlooked the invisible chains that bind us? Freedom, a concept so deeply ingrained in our collective consciousness that we rarely stop to question it. We celebrate it, fight for it, and even die for it. But what does it truly mean to be free? Is freedom merely the absence of constraints, or is there more to it? In this exploration, we'll delve into the paradoxes of freedom, examining the philosophical debates that challenge our understanding of autonomy, determinism, and the very essence of choice. At its core, freedom is often defined as the ability to act or change without constraint. But this definition raises questions. Are we ever truly without constraints? Societal norms, laws, personal responsibilities, all these factors influence our decisions. The ancient Greeks distinguished between eleutheria, freedom, and anank, necessity, highlighting the tension between free will and necessity. In modern times, philosophers have expanded on this, introducing concepts like positive and negative liberty. Negative liberty refers to freedom from external interference. It's the idea that one is free when not obstructed by others. Positive liberty, on the other hand, is the freedom to control and direct one's own life. While negative liberty emphasizes non-interference, positive liberty focuses on self-mastery and self-realization. This distinction, introduced by Isaiah Berlin, reveals the complexity of freedom. Too much emphasis on negative liberty can lead to neglect of social responsibilities, while an overemphasis on positive liberty can justify authoritarian control in the name of self-realization. The debate between determinism and free will further complicates our understanding of freedom. Determinism posits that every event, including human cognition and behavior, decision and action, is causally determined by an unbroken chain of prior occurrences. If true, this challenges the notion of free will. Compatibilists argue that free will and determinism are not mutually exclusive, suggesting that freedom can exist within a determined framework. In contrast, incompatibilists believe that if determinism is true, free will is an illusion. This philosophical tug-of-war forces us to reconsider the authenticity of our choices. In our daily lives, we often believe we're making free choices. However, psychological studies suggest that many of our decisions are influenced by subconscious processes. Factors like upbringing, culture, and even genetic predispositions play significant roles in shaping our preferences and actions. This raises the question, if our choices are influenced by factors beyond our conscious control, can we truly claim to be free? Society plays a pivotal role in defining and limiting freedom. Social constructs, norms, traditions, and institutions shape our understanding of what's acceptable and what's not. While these constructs provide structure, they can also impose limitations. For instance, gender roles and class structures can restrict individual freedoms. Recognizing and challenging these constructs is essential in the pursuit of genuine freedom. Subscriber in the digital age, technology has become an integral part of our lives. Algorithms predict our preferences, social media platforms influence our opinions, and surveillance systems monitor our actions. While technology offers convenience, it also raises concerns about autonomy. Are our choices truly ours, or are they subtly guided by unseen digital forces? The interplay between technology and freedom is a modern dilemma that demands critical examination. Existentialist philosophers like Jean-Paul Sartre and Simone de Beauvoir emphasized individual freedom and responsibility. Sartre famously stated, "Man is condemned to be free," highlighting the burden that comes with absolute freedom. In this view, freedom is not just a privilege, but a responsibility, requiring individuals to define their essence through actions. This perspective shifts the focus from external constraints to internal accountability. Freedom without ethics can lead to chaos. Ethical frameworks provide guidelines for exercising freedom responsibly. Utilitarianism, deontology, and virtue ethics offer different approaches to evaluating the morality of actions. Balancing personal freedom with ethical considerations ensures that one's actions do not infringe upon the freedoms of others. This balance is crucial for harmonious coexistence in society. Political freedom involves the relationship between individuals and governing bodies. Democratic societies aim to provide citizens with freedoms while maintaining order. However, the extent of governmental control can sometimes encroach upon individual liberties. The challenge lies in finding a balance where authority protects citizens without becoming oppressive. Historical events, such as revolutions and civil rights movements, highlight the ongoing struggle for political freedom. Economic status significantly impacts one's freedom. Financial constraints can limit access to education, healthcare, and opportunities. Economic freedom involves the ability to make choices regarding consumption, employment, and investment. Addressing economic disparities is essential in ensuring that freedom is not a privilege reserved for the affluent, but a right accessible to all. Different cultures interpret freedom in varied ways. In individualistic societies, freedom often emphasizes personal autonomy. In collectivist cultures, freedom may be viewed in the context of community and harmony. Understanding these cultural nuances enriches our global perspective on freedom and highlights the importance of cultural sensitivity in discussions about liberty. As we look to the future, the concept of freedom will continue to evolve. Emerging technologies, shifting political landscapes, and global challenges like climate change will influence our understanding of freedom. It's imperative to remain vigilant, questioning and redefining freedom in the face of new developments. Engaging in open dialogues and fostering critical thinking will be key in navigating the complexities of freedom in the years to come. In our modern era, we're inundated with choices: what to eat, where, watch, or even whom to date. At first glance, this abundance appears to be the epitome of freedom. However, philosopher Barry Schwartz argues that too many choices can lead to anxiety, paralysis, and dissatisfaction. This phenomenon, known as the paradox of choice, suggests that while autonomy and freedom of choice are essential for well-being, an overabundance can lead to negative consequences. TikTok +2, TikTok +2, YouTube +2. Consider standing in a supermarket aisle, faced with dozens of cereal options. The sheer number can be overwhelming, making the decision more stressful than satisfying. After choosing, one might wonder if another option would have been better, leading to regret. This scenario illustrates how excessive choices can complicate decision-making and diminish satisfaction. Crafting meaning in an absurd world. Existentialist philosophers like Jean-Paul Sartre and Albert Camus grappled with the idea of finding meaning in a seemingly indifferent universe. Sartre posited that existence precedes essence, meaning individuals first exist and then define their purpose through actions. Camus, on the other hand, introduced the concept of the absurd, highlighting the conflict between human search for meaning and the universe's silence. Camus's metaphor of Sisyphus, condemned to roll a boulder uphill for eternity, encapsulates this struggle. Yet, Camus suggests that one must imagine Sisyphus happy, embracing the absurdity and finding meaning in the struggle itself. This perspective encourages individuals to create their own purpose, even in the face of an indifferent world. Foundations of society. The concept of the social contract has been pivotal in political philosophy. Thinkers like Thomas Hobbes, John Locke, and Jean-Jacques Rousseau explored how individuals come together to form societies. Hobbes viewed the state of nature as a war of all against all, necessitating a powerful sovereign to maintain order. Locke, conversely, believed in natural rights and that governments should protect life, liberty, and property. Rousseau introduced the idea of the general will, emphasizing collective decision-making for the common good. These theories underscore the balance between individual freedoms and societal obligations. They prompt us to consider the legitimacy of authority and our role within the social fabric. The greatest good for the greatest number. Utilitarianism, championed by philosophers like Jeremy Bentham and John Stuart Mill, evaluates actions based on their consequences. The central tenet is to maximize happiness and minimize suffering. This approach has influenced various domains, from public policy to ethical decision making. However, utilitarianism faces critiques, especially when individual rights are at odds with collective well-being. For instance, sacrificing one innocent person to save many challenges our moral intuitions. Such dilemmas highlight the complexities of applying utilitarian principles in real-world scenarios. Duty and moral imperatives contrasting utilitarianism, deontological ethics, particularly Immanuel Kant's philosophy, emphasizes duty over consequences. Kant introduced the categorical imperative, a principle stating that one should act only according to maxims that can be universalized. This framework upholds the intrinsic worth of individuals and the importance of moral duties. Deontology asserts that certain actions are inherently right or wrong, regardless of outcomes. This perspective reinforces the significance of intentions and the moral integrity of actions. Character and moral development, rooted in Aristotelian philosophy, virtue ethics focuses on character and the cultivation of virtues like courage, temperance, and wisdom. Rather than emphasizing rules or consequences, this approach considers the moral agent's character and the pursuit of eudaimonia, or human flourishing. Virtue ethics encourages continuous self-improvement and the development of moral character through habitual practice. It offers a holistic view of ethics, integrating personal growth with moral behavior. Navigating moral dilemmas, the trolley problem presents a moral quandary. Should one divert a runaway trolley to a track where it will kill one person instead of 5? This thought experiment challenges our ethical intuitions and pits utilitarian reasoning against deontological principles. Variations of the problem, such as pushing a person to stop the trolley, further complicate the moral landscape. These scenarios prompt discussions about the permissibility of sacrificing one life to save others and the moral weight of action versus inaction, the illusion of choice. The debate between free will and determinism questions whether our actions are truly autonomous or predetermined by prior causes. Determinists argue that every event, including human decisions, is the result of preceding events and natural laws. Compatibilists, however, believe that free will can coexist with determinism, suggesting that freedom involves acting according to one's motivations without external coercion. This discourse has profound implications for moral responsibility, legal accountability, and our understanding of human agency. Identity and Change, the Ship of Theseus paradox, explores the nature of identity through change. If all parts of a ship are replaced over time, is it still the same ship? This thought experiment raises questions about the persistence of identity amid transformation. Applied to personal identity, it challenges us to consider whether we remain the same individuals despite physical and psychological changes. This inquiry intersects with discussions in metaphysics, consciousness, and the philosophy of mind. Designing a Just Society philosopher, John Rawls introduced the veil of ignorance as a method for determining the fairness of societal structures. By imagining oneself without knowledge of personal circumstances, one can design principles of justice that are impartial and equitable. This approach emphasizes fairness and equality, advocating for systems that benefit the least advantaged. It serves as a foundational concept in discussions about social justice and political philosophy. Embracing philosophical inquiry, philosophy invites us to examine the fundamental aspects of existence, morality, and knowledge. Through exploring various philosophical frameworks, we gain tools to navigate complex ethical dilemmas, understand societal structures, and reflect on our place in the universe. Engaging with these ideas fosters critical thinking and a deeper appreciation for the intricacies of human thought.